Alright, hello everyone. This is Disc, and this was my final key for the week. The affix combo wasn't terrible, but by the end of a week playing with them, I'm kind of ready for it to roll over. But this was a really strong group, and we're doing a 22 Halls of Atonement. Strong groups can be fun, but they can also be challenging because people kind of take risks. So far from a perfect key, a lot of avoidable damage was taken overall. This dungeon especially, you have to avoid avoidable damage, and when you're playing with a disciplined priest, you don't want me casting Shadowlands, you want me to be damaging. So avoid damage. This group has 2 PIs, which is fun. I decided Mage would be better for AoE here. Fully atone the group. Led into a boon. There's a lot of AoE opportunity in this dungeon. I do my best not to ever break from boon. I want all my globals to be used for boon. More DPS, more return. We get a lot of double mind seers here, which I had a lot of fun with. I get a couple dots out. I'm not too worried about dotting everyone. So pull just ended, and look, boon is available again. With a 5-pack, there's no reason to hold boon. So you'll see here I skipped atoning our 5th party member. Boon itself has a native heal, unrelated to the atonement healing. So I think that's a pretty safe play. Everyone's still pretty covered there with 4 atonements and 1 not. Yeah, getting in mind seer with my priest friend. Really love to see it. Also, I'm doing my best to stay targeted on my spectrometer. I use KUI nameplates. It's one of the more basic nameplate add-ons. It doesn't require much CPU usage. And as a disciplined priest, what we need to track with our nameplates is basic. I'm tracking 1 dot, a Mind Soothe maybe, Schism. So I really don't need much with my nameplates. KUI is all I need. They show aggro too. Important to track aggro because if you ever see that indicator, you mash your fade super quick. And here is third pull in a row with boons. That's pretty fun. I was booning my spectrometer there. And we're mind searing. Trying to keep a few dots out. I spread 1 dot, with penance added another. Penance is cheaper in mana cost than your dot, so it's one way to save mana too, using penance to spread it. And you'll notice, I think that was our first deadly thrust where the group failed. Those are for sure pull killers when you're on fortified. This is only Tyrannical. It's best to never get hit by those. Totally recommend using party nameplates. It really helps keep an eye on positioning. I try and stay opposite the tank on the other side of the mobs. That deadly thrust is a frontal, so stay behind it. I prioritize getting my dots out. Ooh, okay, we can still talk about it though. I prioritize getting my dots out because Thrash is a pretty short cast, and a short Atonement from Radiance is all you need, really. So I don't bother with 5 globals atoning everyone individually. Got all my dots out for the healing, Radiance into Boon. Yeah, I came back in, so my death was untimely. The Siphon Life went out right as I died, which killed my party member too. So, yeah, storming got me there. That really sucked. Storming's been a problem for me all week. And that's not the first time in this dungeon, either. Not the last time in this dungeon. So this is like the 4th pull in a row with Boon. I dot 5 and spread the 6th dot with Penance off of Arcalath, who has my spectrometer. And this was just a Radiance into Boon. I was playing really aggressively, wanted all the DPS I could get, had no atonements there, still no atonements. So the Shadow Priest plays a really nice move for me there, casting Mass Dispel. Just helping me DPS a little bit. Alright, we're going into our next trash pull. Boon is available again. So everyone's low health here. A little risky not leading with heals. But I prioritized getting dots out. And the group only needed a little healing, so I did a short atonement from an AoE Radiance. It allowed me to get into my Boon quicker, rather than casting 5 atonements individually. And a Radiance is cheaper on mana than 5 atonements individually. So yeah, just a quick Radiance Boon. Tank's the only one to worry about here. And we have a Death Knight, which I think is really weird. It's one of the hardest tanks for me to heal. I've studied their mechanics, but still don't fully understand. But it's kind of like their health pool is fully in their control. They have these heals with their runes, but they're thought to be spiky. Their health goes up and down quickly. But for the Death Knight, yeah, I'm kind of just casting Shadowmans every now and then and DPSing. But here we have another Shard. PI on our Mage. Focused on getting dots out. Again, our Radiance is enough to cover that whole attack. Siphon Life will generally cast during Boon, and you need to get it off quickly. That's the thing. So what I do is I weave in my dispels between my Ascended Blast. So Blast, Dispel, Blast. It's the best way to maximize Boon. Yeah, this is a big Mind Seer dungeon. I love it. Yep, that was a really quick dispel there. You can get ahead of it. If you're quick enough, it won't take any health. Also, the longer it's up, it returns health to the enemy. So keeping my spectrometer on Oros. Passed my last dot with a Penance off of Oros. And I get a full Boon there. Full 10 seconds of Boon. No interruptions. I really like sending charged Penance out as a defensive move. You saw me do it right there on our priest. Just a little priest love. Boon is also really nice there because there's a 50% movement increase, which kind of helps negate that slow. And so far we've pretty much had Boon every pull. So Boon's not quite available. Take that time to get my dots out fully. And yeah, the Mage stand in that rapid fire. Talking about avoidable damage, that's one you want to sidestep out of. And I think this is another full Boon with no interruptions. Refresh Atonement out of Boon. Refresh dots. Seer. The other priest is doing the same thing. I really can't wait for 9.2. My plan is to use the Penance Legendary as my double. I've seen people with a couple different opinions, but I think they're all going to be strong plays. It depends on how well you use them. And I just think with my UI and my experience, I could really take advantage of the doubled Penance bolts, especially since our Power of the Dark Side will be getting buffed. Alright, so for boss fights we have a Subtlety Rogue as my PI target. He uses Shadow Blades, which is a 20-second buff. PI is a 20-second buff. You want to react and Q that as quickly as you can to get full value of PI. It's one of our most useful spells. And open with Boon here, want to get that rolling. 10 full seconds of Boon. And if you look at the meters, the Rogue had a lot of fun with that PI. This boss doesn't do that much damage, even though it's Tyrannical. So this is your opportunity just to practice your DPS rotation. DPS the best you can. There's more avoidable damage. Had to waste that penance defensively, but I wanted to get the Rogue up, and I had a proc. So don't need Shadow Fiend healing, but I opt for Shadow Fiend damage. So Shadow Fiend, follow it with a Schism. Avoidable death. Yeah, that avoidable damage, guys. It's a very real part of gameplay. You can't just know how to press your buttons. You have to be able to interact with the environment and dodge things. So, got that utility out. Engineering battle res for me. We have a Death Knight, so I don't know why he didn't kind of just do it instantly, but I like using that that tool, so walked over, gave him a res. So Tyrannical boss, I'm not holding Boon. He has like 20% health left. I'll get full value. Yeah, led with Schism and 10 full seconds of Boon. More avoidable damage. Mage 8, the beam 2. Yeah, the reason you don't want that in a discipline group is because you're forcing me just to spam you with Shadow Mends, which is, it'll eat our mana quicker than anything. And the most value I can bring is to heal through atonements, That way I can damage 2. Shadowmend is a loss of DPS for me. Loss of mana, loss of DPS. So this tank is doing really weird pulls I've not seen in a long time, but since those guys were running in off of a body pull, I faded. And with boss coming next, someone could argue me that I should have held PI, but I thought this pull would last at least 20 seconds. So if I can get full value of PI, I'm just going to roll it. And if you watch the Mage, PI just expired, full value, still in combat. So Priest Trick, even with the patrol alive, you can get through here with Mind Soothe, Fade, and just mount and run. When the little patrol is coming through, it makes it harder, but it's still possible. You don't have to use a potion there or have a rogue. Yeah, they improved Fade, I think with Shadowlands, reduces aggro range. Really great. So there's almost nothing to learn from watching this fight. It was about as messy as I've ever seen. Our mages are only decurse, and this fight is decurse dependent, and he missed every single one. So you'll see me struggle, and you'll see a group really just muscle through this thing. So on Tyrannical, there is no reason at all that a leap should ever crush a player. Also, avoidable damage. That leap is entirely avoidable. It's meant to be avoided. It is not a healer mechanic. The curse that goes out is what turns everyone to stone. You're supposed to get that decurse so that you're free to move. And yeah, after Echelon jumps in the air, you're supposed to just walk out of the way. Just dodge it. Sorry for the frame loss there, my graphics card's been messing up. But that was my boon round. I do hold boon here, since everyone else is in cooldown windows the first round. I delay it, use it second. So I had a really pro move there where I gave a feather. I tossed a feather directly on our priest's tune to help him dodge that attack. But the mage missed that decurse as well. He missed every single one. Yeah, he either could have decursed either priest. We could grip the leap target out, or he could decurse the leap target, or hell, he could decurse himself. He literally is not casting decurse at all on anyone. It's a real shame. Thankfully, our rogue was targeted, I believe, twice, and he has an ability where he can escape the attack, but he's the only one. Everyone else just has to get pummeled by it on Tyrannical, and then have me heal it up and use all my mana. I'm low mana, there's ads again. I'm gonna boon, we just gotta get this boss over with. I'm really particular about this boss, and it just feels so nice when you can fly through this boss without anyone getting touched, and this just wasn't that. Blink the mage from Area 52. If you're watching this, you should look into how that fight's played. Watch a tutorial or something. So PI's up. Our single target rogue popped. I see no reason to hold PI. Gave it to him almost immediately. So PI doesn't need to be used solely on hard fights. Varuth and all the Tormentors aren't designed to be hard. By design, they're just time sinks. And PI is something that will speed this up. It's available. No reason not to use it. I tried to feather our guy here, but he door shadows right past it. But I'm setting up the grip here. Gets my feather there. Grip him to safety. I go ahead and fade. He's half health. I need to shadow mend him some. I don't want aggro though. So we do have boon. Avoidable damage all over the place. Getting a couple atonements out. So we do have deadly thrust going out here. I'm trying to stay opposite the tank. We also had a siphon life. So blast, dispel, blast. Refreshing my dots on some of the more healthy targets while Pain Sup was up. That's a great way to use Pain Sup. If your dots have fallen off, Pain Sup, refresh them. So Siphon Life there. Need to be quicker on it. More avoidable damage. Yep, more avoidable damage. I'm out of mana because of all that. You know, a lot of people think, oh, the healer will just heal me. It's fine. They're not considering what that looks like on the back end, where I'm having to use my most mana inefficient spell and literally spam you to keep you alive. Yeah, on the back end, it's just taking mana from the group, taking DPS from the group. It's just you gotta avoid things better. I have no mana. So thankfully we have a second res in the group. I have quick drink, which saves the day here. Get the mage up just in time to carry us to victory.
Beware. You approach a powerful servant of the jailer.
Yeah, really bad mage. I wasn't impressed at all. Well, I was semi-impressed. But never want to play with him again. Not in here. Shadow Blades was queued. I gave it a really quick reaction. Wanted full value of that. 2 20-second buffs. We want them to overlap perfectly. So I wasn't super quick to react there on purpose. While that ghost is up, although you don't need to kill him, you're not going to be able to take any of his health. If your boon is hitting that target, you're getting return. He doesn't do that much damage, so I wanted to hit him a little. Also, there's not much damage that goes out on this fight. I'm using Shadow Fiend for DPS. Cast him out, followed it by a Schism and a full rotation of spells. Best use of Schism is that after you cast it, for 9 seconds, only use offensive spells. This is a fight where you just want to really practice your DPS rotation. Get as much DPS out as you can, keeping all your spells on cooldown, fully rolling this whole time. A lot of times it just happens naturally, but you do want to try and get a Schism on the target in your execute range for Shadow or Death. That's one of your highest hitting spells right there. Schism in execute range. Boon did come back up, but the next room is a major AoE room. So I'm just holding on to it. That boss was dead. I just start dotting everything. You do need to get a few atonements out though. It looks like I decided to PI in here. That's okay. Once you have so many dots out like this, you don't really need to spot heal anymore, so I just atone and dot everything. And that passive incoming heal from the dots is enough usually. So I do want a boon in this pack. Padding the meters in the meantime. You need all of the enemies to transition there, all those heals to go out. And from here, I target our named mob for boon. Yeah, I want to wait until after he calls all of his enemy friends. And then I boon after that. So here we are at the last boss. We have left Sagadon up. So if a statue will hit you, it's absolutely going to one-shot you. So we have to prioritize dodging statues. So in a fight like this, I've done it before and I'm sure I'll do it again, but my PI target is not going to be ready until halfway through the fight. Quite a bit before me. It's really important that you don't get caught up in the heat of the fight and then miss your PI target when he cues his spell. So one strategy I implement here is whenever I'm using Solace or Penance or Death, since you can do those while walking, I go ahead and walk while I use them because I'm kind of anticipating those statues flying and I want to be moving constantly. It was kind of a rough opener there because of that tornado. I would have liked fresh atonements on everybody, but I had a couple. And since we had that AMZ, I just went into a boon. Didn't break from it once. So I usually reserve Pain Sep here for the tank, and I'll use it when that heavy tank dot goes out. I think I did that earlier in the fight. Grip is always a nice spell to help your allies there. If you notice they don't see that frontal attack, you can grip them to safety. And there is my PI target. So I gave him PI really quickly. Shadow Fiend, Schism. Everyone's atoned, I just go into a DPS rotation. And all the atonements were falling off, but Shadow Fiend had 4 seconds left. To make sure we got that value, I threw in a Radiance just at the tail end of the Shadow Fiend to get the extra heals. Feather is great for dodging those statues, obviously. Yeah, this is mainly a DPS dungeon for us. There's not much healing required, even on Tyrannical. I'm just keeping all my spells moving. Everything's on cooldown. So yeah, that was a Halls 22. We got through it just with perseverance. The group didn't really play any of the mechanics correctly, but our skill level allowed us just to power through it. Also, if you look at the DPS meters, everyone was really killing it. All the DPS are just about at 12 and over. Myself as a disc priest, I pulled 4.5. So we really just powered through that. It wasn't too bad overall. Never had a full wipe, but the affixes chose to be a problem for me a couple times. But yeah, we're about to go into the new rotation for the week. We're back to Fortified, and it's going to be a really fun week for us. But I'll keep making these type videos. I've been having a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, until next time, guys, Disc out.